If you're a Costco shopper, you already know the great deals, but have you been walking past secret codes that could save you money? KPIX5's Julie Watts introduces us to a consumer expert who shows us how to shop and save, even if you don't have a membership.
Costco employees secretly laugh at customers who buy these items, and I was one of those customers for years. There are aisles designed to drain your wallet and aisles that actually save you hundreds. The difference? Most shoppers walk right past the gold and grab the garbage instead. Let's be honest here. That giant 10-pound bag of onions looks like an absolute steal. $3 for enough onions to make soup for a small army? Sign me up. Except, you're not feeding an army. You're feeding maybe 1 or 2 people. And those onions? They're gonna sit in your pantry, slowly turning into a science experiment. The soft spots come first. Then that funky smell. Before you know it, half the bag goes straight into the trash. Same story with potatoes. Those huge sacks seem like such a bargain until they start sprouting eyes like they're auditioning for a horror movie. And citrus? Don't get me started. Nothing sadder than finding fuzzy green oranges hiding at the bottom of the bag. Here's what nobody tells you. Around 30 to 40% of food in America ends up wasted. That's nearly half. And for smaller households, those bulk produce bags are major contributors. The math doesn't lie either. You're not just paying the sticker price. You're paying to haul it home, store it somewhere, then toss what you couldn't eat. My neighbor learned this the hard way. Bought a massive bag of lemons because she might make lemonade this summer. Summer came and went. Those lemons turned into expensive compost. For 1 or 2 people, smaller quantities from your local grocery store or farmer's market often cost less overall. Fresh beats moldy every single time. But produce isn't the only bulk trap waiting for you in those warehouse aisles. Now let's talk about the bakery section. You know the spot. Giant muffins the size of softballs. Pies that could feed a football team. Dessert platters stacked like edible architecture. They look incredible. Smell even better. But here's the problem nobody mentions at checkout. Those jumbo muffins? Each one packs around 500 calories. That's not a snack. That's dinner. With dessert built in. And unless you've got grandkids visiting every weekend, who exactly is eating 12 of these before they go stale? My neighbor bought a tray of Danishes last month. She told me she froze half, forgot about them, then found them 6 months later looking like sugary hockey pucks. Happens more than people admit. The math seems good at first. $1.50 per muffin instead of $3 at the coffee shop. Smart, right? Well, not when half the package ends up feeding your trash can. Now you've paid $9 for 6 muffins you actually ate. That's $1.50 each. Except you also stored them, moved them around, and felt guilty throwing them away. Here's what really gets me, though. Many doctors specifically tell older patients to cut back on refined sugar and white flour. Blood sugar spikes. Heart strain. Weight that sneaks on. A few months ago, I had no idea what a health ring even was until my fiancé got me one, and I have to say, I'm shocked this isn't a widely known and used product. It tracks my stress levels, and what I found out is that some supplements made my stress score spike, while others actually helped bring it down. I adjusted a few things based on that, and honestly, I feel 10 years younger. My wife mainly uses it to track her menstrual cycles, and she is obsessed with her sleep quality score. I noticed they are currently running a limited 69% discount, but I don't know how long it will last. It's currently only $60, and it's clear this one is the best bang for your buck, with other health rings priced around $350 with less functions. They managed to price it this low because they cut out the middleman like Amazon, Walmart, etc., who drive up the price and take a big margin, ending up with the customer paying 3 to 5 times more. If you are on TV, you can check it out yourself by pausing the video and scanning the QR code with your phone camera or clicking the first link in the description of this video. These bakery giants work against all of that. Want something sweet after dinner? Buy one pastry somewhere else. Split a slice of pie at a restaurant. You'll spend less, eat fresher, and skip the guilt of watching food go bad. But oversized baked goods aren't the only trap dressed up as a deal. All right, let's talk about those massive boxes of granola bars and healthy snacks. You know the ones. They're sitting right there with labels screaming protein and whole grain and only 5 grams of sugar. But here's what they don't tell you. Flip that box over. Read the fine print. Many of these so-called health bars pack more sugar than a chocolate chip cookie. 40 bars in one box sounds like a deal, until you're grabbing one every afternoon, then another after dinner. Before you know it, that occasional treat became a daily habit you didn't even notice forming. I made this mistake myself. Bought a giant box of those peanut butter protein bars. Figured I was being smart. 3 weeks later, I'd eaten through the whole thing, and my pants were tighter. Coincidence? My bathroom scale said otherwise. And here's the sneaky part. The sodium in those crunchy snack packs adds up fast. 1 serving becomes 3 servings because who actually stops at 11 chips? Nobody. That's who. For folks watching blood pressure or blood sugar, these bulk snack boxes are basically landmines disguised as lunch. Want the honest truth? A handful of actual almonds beats any bar with 17 ingredients you can't pronounce. Plain Greek yogurt with berries crushes those sugar-coated granola clusters. Skip the health halo marketing. Your doctor will thank you. Your wallet will too, eventually. But speaking of things that seem helpful but backfire, wait until you hear about those giant bottles in the toiletry aisle. All right, here's where things get a little awkward. Those giant bottles of lotion, shampoo, and conditioner, they seem like a no-brainer. Pay once, moisturize forever. Except you won't actually use it forever. Most personal care products start breaking down after you open them. That half-gallon pump bottle of hand cream? It might separate, lose its scent, or turn weirdly grainy before you're even halfway through. And we're talking maybe 18 months? Tops. But here's the bigger issue nobody mentions. Your skin changes. Your hair changes. What worked beautifully at 62 might irritate you at 64. Maybe you develop a sensitivity. Maybe your dermatologist switches your routine. Now you're stuck with enough coconut body butter to moisturize a small village. I learned this one the hard way. Bought a massive bottle of shampoo because, hey, great price. 6 months later, new medication made my scalp super sensitive. That bargain bottle sat under my sink for 2 years, judging me every time I reached for the towels. And let's talk about the practical stuff. Those jumbo containers are heavy, really heavy. Lifting a slippery 2-pound bottle in a wet shower when you've got a bad shoulder? That's not savings. That's a trip to urgent care waiting to happen. The smarter move? Grab the 2-pack or mid-size option. You still save money per ounce, but you're not married to a product that might not work for you next year. Speaking of things that actually deserve your Costco dollars, the next section covers something surprising. Now let's talk about those shiny end caps. You know the ones. Big TVs, massage chairs, air fryers the size of a small dog. Costco knows exactly what they're doing. They put these impulse buys right where you can't miss them. And suddenly, a $99 foot massager seems absolutely essential. Here's the thing. Most of these gadgets get used twice, maybe 3 times if you're feeling ambitious. Then they become expensive closet decorations. I've done it myself. Bought a fancy kitchen gadget that promised to change my life. It changed my storage situation, that's for sure. Now it lives behind the Christmas decorations. And electronics? Prices drop constantly. That limited time deal on a television probably won't be so limited next month. Or the month after. The math gets ugly fast. A $200 purchase that collects dust costs you $200 plus the space it steals, plus the guilt every time you walk past it. That's an expensive dust collector, my friend. Sure, Costco's return policy is generous, but returning stuff means another trip. More gas, more time, and let's be honest, most of us never get around to it. My rule now? Unless I walked in specifically planning to buy it, I walk right past. Those end caps are basically traps dressed up as bargains. For anyone on a fixed income, these impulse purchases add up faster than you'd think. But here's what actually deserves your attention at Costco. The stuff that saves real money month after month. Now here's where Costco actually starts working in your favor. Kirkland Signature vitamins, specifically the ones made for adults over 50. I'll be honest, I used to buy the fancy brand name stuff, the bottles with the celebrity doctors on them. $30 for a month's supply because somehow I believed expensive meant better. Then my pharmacist told me something that changed everything. She said most store-brand vitamins use the exact same active ingredients as the big names. Same doses. Same formulations. You're just not paying for the Super Bowl commercial. And Costco? They've taken this to another level. A bottle of 400 tablets for what you'd pay for 60 at the drugstore. Do the math. That's roughly 8 to 10 cents per day instead of 50 cents or more. But it's not just about price. Many Kirkland supplements carry USP verification or meet strict third-party testing standards. That little seal means what's on the label is actually in the pill. Not all brands can say that. Here's what I love most, though. One bottle lasts nearly a year. One purchase. One trip. Done. For anyone juggling doctor appointments, grocery runs, and everything else retirement throws at you, that simplicity matters. Of course, always check with your doctor first. Some vitamins interact with medications, and more isn't always better. But once you've got your list approved, this is where Costco membership actually pays for itself. And speaking of health savings that really add up, now here's where Costco becomes genuinely useful for older Americans. Those glasses you're wearing? You probably paid way too much for them. Costco Optical sells frames from brands you've actually heard of. Ray-Ban, Calvin Klein, Coach, at prices that make traditional eyewear shops look like highway robbery. We're talking hundreds less for the same product. And the convenience factor matters. Most Costco locations have optometrists right there. Get your exam, pick your frames, done. One trip. No driving across town to 3 different appointments. But glasses aren't even the biggest win. Hearing aids. Oh boy, this is where the savings get serious. Some folks report saving $2,000 or more compared to specialist clinics. $2,000. That's a vacation. That's 6 months of groceries. That's money that stays in your pocket instead of funding someone's fancy waiting room. The pharmacy deserves a mention too. Costco's prescription prices consistently beat the big chains. You don't even need a membership to use it in most states, though you'll get better deals as a member. My neighbor Frank thought Costco was just about toilet paper and muffins for years. Then he needed new hearing aids. The specialist quoted him nearly $4,000. Costco? under $2,000 for comparable quality. Frank nearly cried. Happy tears, obviously. For retirees watching every dollar, this is the real membership value, not snacks, not gadgets, healthcare essentials that cost a fortune everywhere else. Speaking of essentials, there's one Costco item that might be the best deal in the entire store. Now here's where Costco actually becomes your best friend. That famous $4.99 rotisserie chicken? It's practically a miracle. One bird, multiple meals. Shred it up, and suddenly you've got chicken salad for lunch, soup for dinner, and sandwich filling for tomorrow. That's not a chicken. That's a whole meal plan with legs. And honestly, it tastes better than most restaurant chicken I've had. My neighbor swears Costco seasons those birds with some kind of magic dust. Pretty sure it's just salt and good timing, but still. But the protein parade doesn't stop there. Their frozen wild salmon is genuinely excellent. Kirkland brand, individually wrapped portions sitting in your freezer until you're ready. No pressure, no eat me before I go bad. Guilt trips. Just grab one, thaw it, cook it, done. Here's what most people miss, though. Frozen often beats fresh for quality. The salmon gets flash frozen right after catching, which locks in the nutrients. Meanwhile, that fresh fish at your local store might have been sitting around for days playing the waiting game. Shrimp works the same way. Big bags, reasonable prices, zero waste if you portion smartly. For older adults especially, protein matters more than ever. Muscles don't maintain themselves. Bones need support. And these options deliver serious nutrition without complicated recipes or fancy cooking skills. Quick pan sear, little lemon, maybe some garlic. Dinner's ready in 15 minutes. Speaking of smart staples that won't let you down. Now, let's talk about the stuff that actually makes sense to buy in bulk. Kirkland coffee. Regular or decaf? It's consistently rated alongside brands that charge double, and you're paying pennies per cup instead of $5 at the coffee shop. My morning routine costs me about 12 cents. That's cheaper than the gas to drive to Starbucks. Greek yogurt is another winner here. Those big tubs of plain Greek yogurt work for everything. Breakfast with berries. Substitute for sour cream on a baked potato. Mix it into smoothies. One container lasts weeks in the fridge and costs less than buying 6 tiny cups at the regular store. And nuts? This is where Costco really shines. A bag of unsalted almonds or mixed nuts gives you protein, healthy fats, and something to munch on that won't spike your blood sugar like those so-called health bars we talked about earlier. They keep for months. No rush to finish them. No guilt when you grab a handful. Here's what these items have in common. They don't spoil quickly. They're actually good for you. And the bulk pricing genuinely saves money because you'll use every bit. Compare that to a box of 40 granola bars that quietly trains you to snack all day. Different game entirely. For older folks watching their heart, their weight, or their budget, swapping processed junk for coffee, yogurt, and nuts is one of the easiest upgrades you can make. But there's one more category where Costco becomes absolutely unbeatable for seniors. Now here's where Costco actually makes sense for almost everyone. Toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags, laundry detergent. These things don't expire. They don't go stale. And unless you're planning to stop using the bathroom, you're going to need them. Buying these in bulk means fewer trips to the store. And let's be honest, lugging heavy stuff through a parking lot gets old. Literally. One big Costco run can stock your closet for months. It's like having your own little supply depot at home, minus the forklift. But here's something people don't talk about enough. Kirkland adult briefs and incontinence pads? Genuinely excellent quality at prices that'll make you wonder why drugstores charge so much. We're talking hundreds of dollars in savings over a year. Real money that stays in your pocket instead of padding some pharmacy's profit margin. My neighbor switched from a name brand to Kirkland's version last spring. Same comfort, same reliability, half the price. She calls it her secret senior discount. And the weird part is, these aren't glamorous purchases. Nobody brags about their toilet paper haul at dinner parties, but that's exactly why they're smart buys. No spoilage risk, no willpower required. Just practical stuff you actually use. The whole trick to winning at Costco? Skip the flashy impulse aisles and head straight for the boring essentials. Your wallet will thank you. Your storage closet will be full. And you'll finally be shopping that warehouse like someone who's figured out the game.